Okay, wait. Don't chew yet. Just let it sit. Do you feel that?
I am feeling a distinct lack of preparation for tomorrow, is what I'm feeling. I'm just staring at these notes,
Yeah.
and I'm realizing I have nothing. It's just buzzwords.
No, the boba. Focus up. We are having a texture moment here. You have to ground yourself in the sensory detail.
Okay, fine, the texture.
Remember the great boba texture debate of 24? Remember that place on 4th Street?
Yeah.
The one that served us those pearls that were basically like vulcanized rubber?
Oh, I remember. My jaw was clicking for 3 days after that.
Exactly. But this is the redemption arc. These are oishi. They're delicious.
Maybe, okay, if I'm being super, super critical, maybe like 5% too chewy. It's giving resilience, but I really wanted cloud. But the brown sugar bloom on them, it's immaculate.
Resilience is good. I need resilience. Look, can we forget the tapioca density for just a second? I need you to quiz me.
Interview. Yes, the actuary interview tomorrow. This isn't just a job, this is the pivot. If I don't absolutely nail the behavioral questions, I'm going to be stuck calculating risk tables for like a pet insurance startup for the rest of my life.
No.
I'll be pricing out hip dysplasia premiums until I die. I need to lock this STAR method in.
The STAR method, what is that? Is that like
Wow.
super teammate, always ready? Because that sounds like a distinct lack of main character energy.
No.
It sounds like NPC behavior, to be honest.
It stands for situation, task, action, result.
Yeah.
And it is the gold standard for interviewing. It's the only way to answer these behavioral questions without, rambling.
Right.
You have to be logical, you have to be precise, completely devoid of unnecessary emotion. Just the facts.
Okay, give me an example. Sell me on it.
Okay, fine. The prompt is, tell me about a time you overcame an obstacle. Boom, I go straight to the framework. Situation. The main client database crashed during peak business hours. Task. I had to restore it before any major service disruption was noticed. Action. I wrote a custom Python script to automate the rollback from a shadow copy. Result. We maintained 99.9% uptime, and I got a pat on the back. That's how you get hired.
Okay.
It's clean,
Yeah.
linear,
Yeah.
efficient.
That is. Low-key so boring. I'm sorry, but it is. Where's the drama in that? Where's the pathos? You're treating your life story like it's a spreadsheet cell.
That's the point.
No, you need a tragic backstory. Look at every manga protagonist ever. You think Naruto became Hokage by using the STAR method?
Here we go.
Situation. My village was attacked. Task, survive, action. I believed it. No, he had a literal demon fox sealed inside of him and everyone hated him.
Yeah.
That's how you get the interviewer to feel your struggle, You have to hook them emotionally.
I am not going into a corporate boardroom and telling them about a demon fox. I don't have a tragic backstory. I had a very stable middle-class upbringing. My biggest trauma is the sticker scandal of 2018.
Oh no, not the sticker scandal. We do not speak its name.
It was a tragic event. I bought that copy of Iron Man number 55, first appearance of Thanos, a key investment piece. And the previous owner, some absolute savage, had put a price sticker directly on the cover.
No.
Not on the bag, on the cardboard. And when I tried to peel it, the color lift. The little white spot on Thanos' chin. It haunts me.
I can still see it.
The degradation of asset value. It honestly keeps me up at night.
See, but that's Hazukashi. It's like secondhand embarrassment, but it's also tragic. You dismiss it as too niche, but you need to channel that pain. That's your origin story. The man who seeks perfection because the world is so deeply flawed.
No, I need to channel logic. Emotion leads to sticker rips. Logic leads to pristine CGC graded collectibles. And ironically, the homework we just watched, the creator's deep dive on December 2003, part 2, it actually proves my point.
Oh, does it?
Yes. I found the perfect example of the STAR method, and it wasn't with the heroes, it was the villain.
Please don't tell me you're looking up to the villains again. You have this, concerning tendency to align with the autocrats.
I aligned with confidence. I'm talking about Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. The man has a business plan. And then you have the government in supreme power. Pure, unadulterated logic. They look at a superhero and they see a logistical asset.
Okay, hold up. Whoa, I watched that same video. I read the stack. The stack is right here on the table. And careful with the condensation from your cup.
I say it.
We have Daredevil number 53, Supreme Power number 3, and Ultimate 6 number 3. And if you think Daredevil 53 was about business logic, you and I were reading a completely different comic book.
I think I was reading it more closely.
That was pure emotional manipulation. That was drama. It was operatic. And Ultimate 6, that was just chaos. That was squad goals gone horribly wrong.
That's because you're looking at the surface level. You're looking at the colors. I'm looking at the underlying structure.
Fine. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to unpack these 3 books right now. We're going to settle this. Does logic and the star method win? Or does drama and the tragic backstory win? Which one actually drives the narrative forward?
I'll take that bet. And when I prove that structure dictates success, you're paying for the next round of boba.
Deal. But be prepared to lose, because the vision quest in Daredevil is about to absolutely wreck your entire spreadsheet worldview.
We'll see about that. Let's start with the heavy hitter. Daredevil number 53, Echo, Part 3.
Okay, so let's set the scene. This isn't your typical superhero comic, is it? This is David Mack on art duties, and for you listeners who haven't seen the pages, we need to paint this picture.
Right.
Mack doesn't just draw a comic, he collages it.
It is. It's very distinctive. It completely breaks the grid.
Yeah, it's way more than distinctive. It's immersive. You don't have those clean black lines separating moments. It's all watercolors just bleeding into each other. It's scraps of paper, handwritten notes, textures that look like they were literally rubbed off a sidewalk. It feels like we are physically inside Maya Lopez's head.
And her head is a mess right now. Unstructured data is what it is. But the scene opens in Rikers Island. It's cold. It's gray. Max shifts the palette here to be really sterile. And we have Wilson Fisk, the kingpin, in an orange jumpsuit, talking to Maya Lopez.
The woman he raised.
And the woman he lied to.
The woman he manipulated into trying to kill Daredevil. And now she knows the truth. She knows Fisk killed her father. She's just standing there, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a sigh.
Exactly. And this is where my whole theory begins. Fisk confesses to her. He admits he killed her father. He admits he framed Daredevil. But listen, I mean, you have to really listen to the specific phrasing he uses when he talks about his affection for her.
Oh, I know the line.
He says, and I quote, "I love you as much as it is in my nature to do so."
Yeah. That line gave me chills. And not the good kind. It was so sus. It was super toxic. It just felt slimy.
See, you're reacting emotionally, I'm reacting professionally. That is a liability waiver.
Oh, what?
It's the ultimate corporate disclaimer. He is legally defining the parameters of his own emotion. He's not saying, "I don't love you." He's saying, "I am an asset manager. You are an asset. My programming, my nature, limits my capacity for empathy. Therefore, any failure to love you fully is a hardware limitation, not a software bug."
That is the coldest, most cynical interpretation I have ever heard in my life. You're making him sound like some evil, sentient AI.
He is the kingpin. He is a machine of influence. Think about the audacity of it. He's in prison. He has zero leverage. She could kill him right there, on the spot. And what does he do? He uses the star method. Situation. Maya is angry and knows the truth. Task. Prevent her from killing me and maintain some kind of psychological control. Action. Admit the truth, but frame it within a philosophical context of nature, thereby absolving myself of all moral responsibility. Result. She leaves confused rather than violent.
He's gaslighting her. He's trying to make her feel like his abuse was actually some twisted form of love. He's playing the scorpion and the frog card. I stung you because I am a scorpion. Why are you mad at me? That's not a business strategy. That's just narcissism 101.
But look at the result, the R in star. Does she attack him? Does she kill him? No.
No.
She leaves. She's conflicted. He successfully neutralized an immediate threat by completely confusing the narrative. He turned a clear-cut revenge mission into an existential crisis for her. That is effective management. He bought himself more time.
It's effective, sure, but it's heartbreaking. And that's what makes the story so good. It's not the logic, it's the messiness of it. So Maya goes home, and she enters her apartment. And Mac does this beautiful thing with the art where the kingpin dialogue boxes start to fade out and the visual noise of her apartment just takes over.
Right.
She sees those self-portraits she painted everywhere.
The apartment is filled with them.
Oh.
It's a bit...
Obsessive, isn't it?
It's introspection.
Yeah.
She looks at all these paintings of herself, and that realization hit me so hard. It was Urashi in a sad way, you know? Like touching, but also painful. She realizes that the emptiness she feels isn't just because Kingpin lied to her, it's because she let herself become a weapon. She hollowed herself out to fit his design.
Which is inefficient. If she had just stuck to the facts. Fact. Kingpin killed my dad. Fact. Kingpin is bad. Fact. I should move on. She wouldn't be having this breakdown. She's letting the sunk cost fallacy destroy her. She invested years in Kingpin, and now she can't write off the asset. Humans aren't robots. You can't just write off a father figure, even a toxic one. That's why she needs the vision quest. She has to go back to her roots.
Right.
And I loved the shift in tone here. The comic goes from this cold, structured prison dialogue in the chaotic apartment to the reservation. The whole color palette shifts to these warm earth tones like ochres and burnt siennas. Everything becomes organic.
I will admit, the change in setting was,
Oh,
it was drastic.
yeah.
She leaves the city entirely. She goes to the chief.
The chief. He was so wise. He's just sitting there carving wood, and he starts talking about stories. He says that stories have a life of their own, that they evolved and they return to the storyteller. That is such a meta commentary on comics themselves, don't you think? Like, we're reading a story about a story. The chief is basically the writer acknowledging that once you put a character out into the world, they change.
It's a bit recursive for my taste. Stories about stories. I prefer clear instructions. But I did appreciate the chief's attempt to provide some kind of structure. He doesn't just say, hey, feel better. He gives her a protocol. He talks about the inipi, the sweat lodge.
Yes, the inipi and the concept of the Manitou or spirits. Being a neophile, I was totally vibing with this because it reminds me so much of Shinto concepts in anime.
Yeah.
You know, like in Princess Mononoke or Natsume's Book of Friends, where spirits are just part of the natural world. It's not magic in the superhero sense, like Doctor Strange waving his hands. It's just, it's nature. The wind has a voice. The fire has a voice.
It's a purification ritual. I can respect the process. It's a task. Purify spirit, action, enter sweat lodge. But then we get to the vision quest itself.
Yeah.
She goes out into the woods, fasting for 4 days. No food, no water. From a purely biological standpoint, she is inducing hallucination through deprivation.
Stop ruining the magic. She's opening her third eye. And the animals were so kawaii, but also so meaningful. The rabbit comes up to her first.
The prey.
The innocent. The rabbit represents the part of her that was vulnerable, the child that Kingpin exploited. And then the wild dog, the wolf, appears. It's snarling, it's dangerous. But she doesn't fight it, she just sits with it. It's like she's shedding her predator vibes and reconciling with her own aggression. It was so beautiful. It was visual poetry.
And then the chief gives her the 3 questions. Who am I? What have I become? And why am I here?
The ultimate question.
They are terrible interview questions. Seriously. If an interviewer asked me, who am I? And I answered with, I am a leaf in the wind, or I am the echo of my father's sins, I would not get the job. I would get escorted out by security. I actually tried to answer them using the STAR method while I was reading just to see if it would hold up.
Please tell me you didn't. You did not STAR method Vision Quest.
I absolutely did. Question. Who am I? Situation. I am a sentient, carbon-based life form currently residing in a high cost of living urban area. Task. Survive and acquire currency to exchange for goods and services. Action. Study actuarial science and minimize risk exposure. Result. Moderate anxiety, a caffeine addiction, and a modest comic book collection.
See, that right there is exactly why you need the tragic backstory. That answer has no soul. It's accurate, sure, but it's so boring. Maya's answer isn't in words, it's in the experience. She sees the owl with the glowing eyes. She feels the storm. She realizes she isn't just Kingpin's assassin or Crazy Horse's daughter. She is the space between those things.
Space doesn't pay the rent. But speaking of the storm, we have to talk about the cliffhanger, the result of her quest.
The silhouette.
She sees a shape in the trees, the lightning flashes, and it's a man. Short, stocky, with a very distinct hairstyle.
Shaped just like a Wolverine.
It is Wolverine.
Look, it was so dramatic. The glowing eyes, the rain, the mystery. Why is he there? Is he a spirit? Is he even real?
It was also logical. From a publishing standpoint, you put Wolverine in a book, sales go up. That is the result, part of the Marvel business plan in 2003. Situation, sales are flat. Task, boost engagement. Action, add Wolverine. Result, profit.
You were hopeless. It wasn't just about sales. Okay, maybe it was a little bit about sales, but it was about the connection to the wider Marvel universe. It's setting up the fact that Maya isn't alone in being a weapon.
Okay.
Wolverine knows all about being used as a weapon. He's the patron saint of, I was made into a thing and now I want to be a person. It's thematic resonance.
We'll see. But I still think Kingpin had the better strategy in this issue. He controlled the narrative from inside a prison cell. Maya is wandering around the woods, hallucinating rabbits and short Canadians. Who is really winning here?
Maya is winning because she's healing. But again, mind, you want logic. You want cold, hard government efficiency. You want to see the STAR method applied to geopolitics.
I do, yes.
Then let's talk about supreme power number 3. Because if you want the STAR method, I feel like the U.S. government in this book is basically your spirit animal. And it is terrifying.
Now we're talking Supreme Power number 3 coming out. This book is a masterclass in project management.
It's a horror movie disguised as a superhero comic.
It's efficient. Let's just look at the opening scene. We are back in 1991, Operation Desert Storm. The situation, to use the framework, is a massive deployment of Iraqi armor, the Republican Guard.
And the art here by Gary Frank is so different from David Mack. Mack was all abstract and bleeding colors. Frank is hyper-realistic. You can see the grit on the tanks. You can see the sweat on the soldiers' faces. It feels like you're watching a CNN broadcast.
Exactly. It's grounded. So, situation. The U.S. needs to destroy these Iraqi resources quickly. Task,
Yeah.
neutralize the Republican Guard assets without a prolonged ground engagement and minimize U.S. casualties.
You sound like a general right now. It's actually unsettling.
Action. They don't send in a battalion. They don't send in an airstrike. They deploy asset Hyperion, Mark Milton. He flies in, unseen, moving faster than the speed of sound, so he's silent until he's already past you, and he destroys everything in seconds.
He literally flies through the tanks.
He does. And the
Or
result,
total devastation.
immediate surrender. But here's the genius part, the spin. Credit is given to coalition missiles. 0 friendly casualties. Mission accomplished. The world thinks it was superior technology. The government knows it was one man. That is the STAR method applied to high-stakes conflict. It is beautiful in its simplicity.
It's horrific. They used a living, breathing person, a child, basically, at that point, as a secret weapon. And then they lied about it. They stole his agency. Mark didn't choose to go to war. He was pointed at a target like a guided missile. That scene where he's just floating above the burning tanks, he doesn't look like a hero. He looks like a god who is bored or maybe just completely disconnected from it all.
He is a managed asset. And fast forward to the present day, in the comic 2003 or so, we have the reporter, Jason Scott.
Now, he has main character energy. The hard-boiled reporter, smoking, drinking, digging for the truth, ignoring his editor. That's the kind of drama I like. He's investigating Project Hyperion. He knows something is up.
He is a variable the government failed to account for initially. A risk factor.
Yeah.
He's digging, and he's getting close. And I loved the cameos here. We see George H.W. Bush giving the order in the flashback, and then Bill Clinton managing the fallout in the 90s.
Right.
It grounded the comic in a reality that felt very different from the main Marvel universe. In the main Marvel universe, the president is usually just some generic guy. Here, it's the real people. It raises the stakes.
It did feel very prestige TV, like The West Wing, but with aliens. But the part that really got me was the spin. When they realize Jason Scott is getting close, they don't just, kill him.
No, killing a reporter is messy.
Yeah.
It creates a martyr. It invites further scrutiny. It's bad optics.
So what do? They decide to come out. They hold a press conference.
Risk management. If the story leaks via Jason Scott, they lose control of the narrative. It becomes government hides alien superweapon, scandal, panic. If they reveal Hyperion on their own terms, they control the message. So they draft a story. He's an American citizen, son of researchers who tragically died, raised in secret for his own protection. It's a perfect cover story. It checks all the emotional boxes while completely hiding the terrifying truth. That is top-tier corporate communication.
It's a lie, Reese. It's a total fabrication from start to finish.
It's a result-oriented strategy. And it worked. The public bought it. They cheered.
But at what cost? We have to talk about the scene where Hyperion visits Jason Scott at night. That was the emotional anchor of the entire book for me.
A midnight visit.
Jason Scott is alone in his apartment, and suddenly Hyperion is just there,
Yeah.
floating outside his window. And not in a friendly neighbor kind of way, in a I am a god and I know exactly where you live way.
He is intimidation. Subtle, but very clear.
But Jason Scott, who is terrified by the way he looks at him, he looks past the glowing eyes and the cape, and he sees the truth. He mentions Hyperion's eyes. He says they show isolation and loneliness.
A minor defect in the product.
Stop calling him a product. That moment was Hazukashi. Not embarrassing for him, but embarrassing for humanity. We took this godlike being, this potential savior, and we turned him into a lonely, isolated tool. It's a tragedy. He's the most powerful being on Earth, and he has no friends, no family, just handlers, just people giving him tasks and checking his results.
It creates a vulnerability, I'll admit. If the asset is unhappy, the asset might defect. That's a retention issue. If I were his manager, I'd be worried about churn. You can't exactly offer Hyperion a 401k match to keep him happy.
You're impossible. But there was that little tease at the end, right? The rumor of the blur in Georgia.
World building. Hyperion isn't the only one, which just introduces new variables to the equation. But overall, supreme power supports my thesis. The side with the plan. The government is in control. The emotional side. The reporter's being manipulated. Logic wins.
For now. But I have a feeling Hyperion isn't going to stay a managed asset forever. Emotions have a way of exploding. Pressure builds up. And speaking of explosions and pressure, We need to talk about Ultimate 6 number 3. Because if supreme power was the Cold War, Ultimate 6 is a hot mess.
Ah, yes, the chaos factor, the complete failure of protocols.
This issue is wild. The situation, to use your word, is a massive prison break.
A catastrophic failure of security protocols.
Yeah.
The SHIELD prison, the Triskelion is trashed, only 3 survivors out of 38 agents, Hank Pym is injured, and the villains.
The villains, Green Goblin, Electro, Doc Ock, Sandman, Kraven. It gave me such anime villain arc vibes.
Yeah.
You know when the Akatsuki or the League of Villains get together and they just have this swagger, this main character energy, but the bad kind. They plowed through those SHIELD agents like they were paper.
It was a significant escalation, for sure. But let's look at the response. Let's look at Nick Fury. Because if the government in supreme power is the good manager, Nick Fury in Ultimate 6 is the stressed middle manager who is about to have a heart attack.
Poor Nick. He was having a very bad day.
I sympathize with the man. Talk about a hostile work environment. He walks in, sees his facility destroyed, his people dead, and he has to fix it. He is stress testing his leadership skills.
And he was snapping at everyone.
He was prioritizing. He realizes he needs leverage against the villains. They have taken the initiative. He needs to regain it. So he goes to recruit Peter Parker.
I loved this scene. It was so grounding. Clay Quartermain pulls Peter out of his high school class, and Peter, being the sassy teenager he is, asks for ID.
A reasonable request. In a world of shapeshifters and clones, you verify credentials. It's just good practice.
And Clay flashes the watch with Nick Fury's face on it, high-tech ID.
Yeah.
And then Fury just screams at him from the watch to suit up. It was just a clash of genres. You have the school life, slice of life genre colliding with the spy thriller genre.
Right.
It was kawaii and terrifying at the same time. Peter is worried about his Aunt May. Fury is worried about the President of the United States.
It was inefficient. Fury let his emotions dictate his leadership. When Peter gets to the Triskelion and meets the Ultimates,
Oh my God, Tony Stark's joke. Did you travel back in time for this recruit? Because Peter is a baby. He's literally a child compared to Captain America and Thor.
he is a minor. The liability issues abound. But here is where Fury fails the star method. Peter starts asking about Aunt May and Mary Jane. He has legitimate concerns about his own stakeholders, his family, and Fury explodes.
I've lost more agents today than in my entire career. He was venting. He's human. He's allowed to be upset.
He was losing control. A good manager de-escalates. Fury escalated. He screamed at a teenager who holds the key to stopping the villains. That is poor asset management. If he had used the star method situation, recruit is scared, task, secure his cooperation, action, reassure him about family safety, result, compliance, he would have gotten what he wanted without all the drama.
But the stakes, Reese. Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, is blackmailing the president. You can't just be chill and use corporate buzzwords when the Green Goblin is on the phone with the White House.
Ugh, the blackmail. Now that brings me back to my Kingpin theory. Norman Osborn is a lunatic, yes. He's physically transforming into a monster. But he is also a businessman.
Oh, here we go again.
He calls the White House. He has leveraged secrets about Nick Fury, secrets about the Super Soldier program. He is negotiating. Even while being a fugitive, he is trying to execute a business plan. I have something you want. You give me what I want. It's entirely transaction-based.
It's blackmail. It's illegal.
Most high-stakes business is just blackmail with better lawyers. My point is, the characters who are driving the plot Kingpin, the government in supreme power, Osborn, are the ones thinking in terms of leverage and transactions. The characters who are reacting, Maya, Jason Scott, Peter Parker, are the ones caught up in their feelings.
But the ones caught up in their feelings are the heroes. They are the ones we root for. We don't root for the government in supreme power. We feel bad for Hyperion. We don't root for Kingpin. We want Maya to heal. The story is about the emotion, not the plan. That's why we read comics. To feel the Hazukashi of Peter getting yelled at, or the Urashi of Maya finding peace.
But the success, the KPI of the villain, is based entirely on the plan. If I want to get this job tomorrow, I need to be the Kingpin.
Please do not murder the interviewer. That is not in the star method.
I need to be like the Kingpin, confident, prepared, controlling the frame of the conversation. I need to be the one setting the terms, not the one reacting to them.
Okay, that's fair. But can we talk about something else that needs to be controlled, or at least acknowledged? Because you've been twitching every time I even mention the X-Men.
You mean the bias radar?
I mean, your weekly gripe. We watched the video. The creator covered new X-Men number 148. He talked about Wolverine. He talked about Jean Grey. He talked about the Phoenix Force.
He talked about the ad nauseum. Oh, look at the tragedy. Look at the celestial fire. Look at Magneto's grand design.
It was a huge moment. Jean Grey dying again. Wolverine having to kill her to save her from burning up in the sun. That is peak shonen drama. It is honto dramatic. It's the climax of the entire saga.
It is melodramatic.
Yeah.
But that's not my issue. My issue is what he left out. He briefly mentioned the next time teaser at the end, right? Emma Frost's troubled past unraveling.
Yeah. So,
But in this episode, where was she? The school is literally falling apart. Magneto is destroying New York. Beast is useless. Xavier's a prisoner.
Yeah.
Who's actually running the logistics of the XMen right now.
Emma.
Emma Frost, the White Queen. She is the only person in that entire mutant soap opera who understands the STAR method. Situation. The school is blowing up. Task, save the students. Action. Use telepathy and vast financial resources to coordinate a rescue. Result, profit, or at least survival.
She is pretty capable, I'll give you that. She's the girl boss of the X-Men.
And yet the creator completely ignores her. He
Yeah.
focuses on the golden couple, Jean and Logan, going out in a blaze of glory. He has an anti-Emma bias, I'm telling you. He prefers the messy, emotional redheads over the logical, capable blondes. It's a pattern. He ignores the person doing the actual work to focus on the person making the biggest scene.
Or maybe he just likes the story. Jean dying is a canon event. It's huge. Emma is doing the paperwork in the background. Paperwork is an exciting video content. Watching Emma Frost balance the checkbook isn't going to get views.
Paperwork is what keeps the world turning. If Emma wasn't doing the paperwork, the X-Jet wouldn't have fuel to fly Jean to the sun in the first place.
Yeah.
You can't have the tragedy without the logistics.
Mama, now, calm down. You're getting red in the face. Drink your boba.
Sloop. Okay. Maybe I'm a little heated about it.
Just a little. Look, I get it. You want respect for the planners, the thinkers, the people who hold it all together. You identify with the Emmas and the kingpins of the world because you like order.
Exactly. Chaos is stressful. Order is safe.
But you have to admit, the reason we read these books, the reason we watch the videos is for the feeling. When Wolverine held Jean, that was Urashi in the saddest way. It made you feel something. A spreadsheet doesn't make you feel something. A perfectly executed project plan doesn't make you cry.
Unless it balances perfectly on the first try. That feels amazing. It's
Yeah.
a very specific kind of joy.
You are hopeless. So what's the verdict for your interview tomorrow? Who wins? Logic or drama?
The verdict. I think you're partially right.
Yada.
Partially. Pure logic, like the government and supreme power, is cold and alienating. It creates retention issues and makes people hate you. But pure emotion like fury, yelling, or Peter panicking, leads to mistakes and vulnerability.
So what are you gonna do?
So for my interview, I'm going to channel a hybrid. I will have the confidence of the Kingpin minus the murder. I will have the urgency of Nick Fury minus the screaming at children. But I will tell the story of my career using the star structure.
So a tragic backstory, but in bullet points.
Exactly. I'm going to use the sticker scandal.
You're really gonna do it. You're not joking.
I am. Situation. I was a broke college student investing in a Grail comic. Task. I needed to verify the asset's condition. Action. I failed to inspect the cover for hidden adhesive damage. Result. I learned the critical value of due diligence and risk assessment, a lesson I now apply to every single actuarial table I construct.
Oh my God. That's actually kind of brilliant. It humanizes you, but it turns the mistake into a practical lesson.
It shows attention to detail and emotional resilience. I turned a tragedy into a process improvement.
You know what? Do it. It's got main character energy in a weird, nerdy way. It's unique. I fully support it.
And what about you? What's your takeaway from this deep dive? Aside from the fact that I'm right about Emma Frost.
Me. I'm just happy that Vision Quests and Secret Origins are part of the curriculum. It reminds me that even in these huge continuity-heavy universes, it always comes down to the character looking in the mirror and asking, who am I?
Who am I?
Exactly. Whether it's Maya in the woods or Hyperion at the window or Peter in the classroom, they're all just trying to figure it out. And that's kawaii. In a deep way. It's endearing. It makes them real.
I suppose there is some value in that, finding your own spirit Manitou, even if my spirit Manitou is a calculator.
Or just finding a really good comic book.
Speaking of finding things,
Yeah.
did we find the bottom of these cups?
Shake, almost. Verdict on the tea.
Flavor. Solid. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The brown sugar ratio was optimal.
And the pearls. The all-important pearl texture.
Texture. Suboptimal. Way too soft. Lacked structural integrity.
I'm telling you, Chuli is better. But I'll give it a yada for the flavor alone.
And the unit cost was a bit high for this level of quality. I'll have to adjust the budget for next week.
Boring. Next week, we're going somewhere with pop and boba. I want chaos in my cup.
We'll see. The stack is waiting.
And this boba isn't gonna drink itself. Oishi.
Slurp.